Hey everybody, it's Vanessa, the Crafty Gemini. If you're just tuning into this live stream and maybe you're not familiar with who I am or what I do, I have a YouTube channel where I post DIY and instructional video tutorials, and you can find all hundreds and hundreds of them under my YouTube channel, The Crafty Gemini. So if you just do a search for The Crafty Gemini, they'll all pop right up for you. As those of you that are starting to join us here, go ahead and leave me a comment below and let me know where you're joining us from. For those that don't know, I live in North Central Florida, just north of Gainesville area. It's been super hot here today in the mid-90s. We're super hot. Thankful for AC for sure. Hey everybody. Hi Pat. Hi Denise. Thank you all for joining us. I'm going to give a couple minutes for more people to join us. If you're interested, maybe you clicked on this live video stream here that I'm doing in my home studio. We're going to be doing, or basically I'm going to be doing a pattern review of this t-shirt. So what I did last week, for those of you that missed us in last week's live stream, I basically held up a chunk of fabric that I had, and I thought I had 1.5 yards, but when I went to grab it, I only had 1 yard, and it was 1 yard of this navy blue rayon jersey. And I basically asked you all for suggestions on what I should make with that 1.5 yard, excuse me, of rayon jersey. And Carla was, I went through all the suggestions, and I really was intrigued by one of the t-shirt patterns that she suggested. And it's basically called The Tee, and it's a free PDF download. So I basically want to review it for you. I downloaded it, put all the sheets together, and made it, and so that I can basically give my review of it, of what I think, you know, whether beginner or not, or kind of who I think might want to tackle this project. But I didn't make any changes to it. I personally like the neckline a little bit lower. All right, let me just check in real quick with some of y'all, see where you're tuning in from. Hey, Miss Claudia, Barbara, hi, Maureen. Thanks so much for joining us. This is super fun. The kids are in bed. My husband's packaging some kits that we've been selling for my Bag of the Month Club. If you're not familiar with that, you can head on over to the craftygemini.com/shop, and you'll see all the information there. I have Bag of the Month Club, so we're sending out some kits, and so I thought, I finished the shirt. This shirt literally took me, and I have sewing experience, obviously. It took me less than 40 minutes. And this was doing it for the first time, putting it together. Obviously, this is like after I had already put the pattern pieces and the sheets together. So I had the pattern. So from cutting the fabric to sewing it up, it took me less than 40 minutes. Let's say 40, 45, just to be safe. Hi, Andra. I'm so glad you didn't turn into a pumpkin at 9 p.m. I was trying to do a live stream before, like 8:30, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Andra's going to fall asleep and she's going to miss it again. And so, sorry, but I did finish the shirt super fast. I just made this shirt, like right now, seriously. I left the kids brushing their teeth, taking showers and all that stuff. My husband put them to bed, and I came in here. I was like, maybe I'll be able to finish the t-shirt before I go live. And sure enough, super cute, isn't it? Super comfy, just like a regular little tee. And rayon, super breathable, perfect for Florida summers. Yes, this is water. Someone always asks. Okay, so we're going to do a little review. I've included in the post right here the link to download this PDF pattern. It's called The Tee, and it's like a free download, so I sent you all the link for it. It's a little confusing because if you try to find it under The Tee, like T-E-E, not very descriptive, and it's kind of like the keywords for that. You're not going to be able to just do a Google search and find the pattern, right? You're going to do some searching and searching. So just make sure that you use that link there. And again, it's free PDF. It's worth it. If you have some t-shirt kind of fabric, go ahead and download this one and give it a try. Why not? So I'm going to walk you through, and since I just made it, I feel like everything is fresh in my head. So rayon jersey, a dream to work with, okay? It is slinky. It's airy. Now this pattern called for a band at the bottom. Let me show y'all here. You see how the shirt itself, the diagram or the illustration here has the band across the bottom? I didn't do that because I've made t-shirts like this before, and because they don't fray, I'm just like, who cares? You know what I mean? Just leave it. I can always go back and add the band if I want to, but I made the length long enough that it's comfortable for me, so it's already down past my hips, and I'm quite short-waisted, so I prefer t-shirts to go like down onto like the hip side with jeans on, okay? So that's the first take on that. Second, if you notice, there's no set-in sleeve. This is just one seam that goes down this way, so like a dolman style sleeve. So it's all, the sleeve is built into the front piece that you cut on the fold, and the same thing for the back. So for a beginner, in that sense, yeah, super easy because you don't even have to set in a sleeve. However, Because it's such a simple pattern, I feel like the instructions, I mean, they are for a beginner, but I would say a confident beginner. You guys know, if you're familiar with my teaching style, that I really like to go super step by step. And I mean, the instructions, they're in depth, they go step by step. But if you don't know the terminology, or like, for example, finish raw edges of sleeve openings. If you don't know how to finish the raw edges of a sleeve opening, you're not going to know what to do, you know? And so it says, use fusible webbing to stabilize the hem and secure in place for stitching. What fusible webbing? How wide? What do I need? What does that mean to stabilize? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you have some sewing experience, yeah, you can get it and you can crank it out. But if you don't, I feel like maybe not this one. Or unless you can find it with, like, say, a video tutorial or something step by step where someone is walking you through it. But I mean, it is super easy. Now, a couple different things. It has some other things about putting this little t-shirt together that are quite beginner friendly is the fact that, well, two things. It has two different neckband finishes. Obviously, the V-neck one is not going to be for the most basic beginner. Do you see how this is the little scoop here, and then that is the V-neck? That's not going to, I mean, a confident beginner definitely tackle it, but if you're trying to simplify it and just see if you can work your way through the pattern, then I would definitely go with this one. And so the one thing about that is that they have you attach the neckband on the flat. So before, you only attach one shoulder seam first. So you basically have like the front connected by one shoulder seam to the back, so you can like spread it out instead of having it already kind of in the shape of the shirt. Does that make sense? Instead of both shoulder seams being connected, if you had connected both of your shoulder seams, then you would have to attach the neckband in the round, which can be a little bit tougher, especially for beginners. So instead, you attach one shoulder, and the neckline is like this. It's all the way open. So you can attach the neckline, and so you do get a little bit more bulk on one side, okay, right here. But it's a t-shirt, let's be real. You know, if you're just trying to get through it and throw it on, who cares? Nobody's going to see that. You know what I mean? If they're that close, they need to make it for themselves, or they're trying to buy it, clearly. Okay, another one. It has you finish off the sleeves here before you sew up the side seams. So because it's, I mean, it's so narrow, I find that it's not, if it was like a sleeve out to here, I wouldn't finish it like that. You know, it's better to just finish the sleeve in the round because you just get a cleaner finish, okay? Instead of having the bulk of where the side seam would then connect. This is kind of hard to explain if you've never made garments before, but just trust me. But on this one, because there's like no sleeve, like it's just like it connects right down here and goes straight to the side seam, I feel like it's not a big deal. You can do it so that you're preparing and hemming the sleeves flat, meaning completely open before they're into a circle like this, okay? So that's another super quick, fast, and easy way to do it, especially for beginners. And if you do mess up, I mean, where are you going to mess up? Directly under your armpit. You know, that's nobody's business down there. You'll be fine. Okay? Now, something else that this pattern has. So you can see the pieces. It's just a front, a back. Now, for the pattern pieces, because this is the part where a lot of people struggle, like the sizing and the fit, these, they're by cake patterns. They have a really cool way of making their patterns. You're basically plotting your measurements on the pattern sheet. So if you notice, all these little dots, they have a bunch of different numbers and stuff. It shows you in the instructions where to measure your full bust, and then you measure and you pick the size and you pick which one. So if I show you here on the sleeve part, this is size 30, this is size 35, this is size 40. So based on my bust measurement, I was a size 40. So I just circled the dot, so I know that that's the line that I'm going to cut my sleeve on, okay? Then you come down here to however long you want the shirt to be, and they give you all these different choices. So you can stop it here and add the band. You can make it go all the way fully length like I did and not hem it, or I can still go back and add the hem band on the bottom still. And then you go over, you take your hip measurement, and you bubble in the number for your hip measurement. So what happens is that I pick my size up here based on my bust measurement. I pick the length that I want based on my style and how long I want the shirt to be, right? If you're going for a crop top, stop that sucker right around here. You can do it any way you want to. Then when it comes to the hip measurement, I have kind of an hourglass shape, so I go in like this at the waist, and I come out, and that's exactly what's reflected on my pattern, right? Let me mute this, because then... There we go, easier. And so then it goes from the size that I chose based on my bust to out this way, okay, to the hip measurement. And all you do is connect the dots. So I connect the dot that I chose for my size here, and connect the size that I chose for my hip measurement down here. And so it's based on my my size. And you pick the number, you connect the dots, and then you cut it out. And so for the back, it's the exact same thing. I have the size up here, size 40 again for me, based on the bust measurement. And then I come out to here to the same. And I think I chose 47 at the hips. So it could be a little bit more loose fitting since I like it to come further down over jeans, right? I don't want it to be that super slim fitting. But if you want to, after you make one, I mean, bring it in and have it be super fitted if you want to, right? So, I mean, it's that part of it is like foolproof, straight up. Measure yourself, bubble in a circle. Go for the length, bubble in a circle. Measure your hips, bubble in a circle. Connect the dots and cut it out. So you have, I mean, I'm a big fan of cutting out your patterns and fabric pieces one day and then going back and sewing the next day. If you wanted to take, say, one day to kind of print out the sheets and cut and, paste, stick all the sheets together to create the pattern templates, and you'll see, I mean, it looks like, oh, 2 little pattern pieces, but it's really made up of 18 sheets of paper. So like 18 8.5 by 11 sheets. But they also include this diagram where it shows you exactly where to connect all the sheets. So from that, after you make this massive thing, you cut out your pieces. Does that make sense? You definitely want to make sure that your printer is set to 100% scale, so you get the right pieces. And so for those of you that are just joining in, this pattern is called The T by Cake Patterns, and it's number 2224. I have a link right here in the post. It says the free The T PDF pattern that you can click on, and that will take you right to the page where you can download the pattern, okay? So it just has a front, a back piece. Then it has the neck binding, which is not this one. This is the one for the V-neck. So it has one for V-neck. It has a pattern template piece for the bottom hem band, okay, which actually I cut out and prepped. I may go back and add it because it is kind of long for how I like it, like it's a good length. But I have a lot of shirts that have like an unhemmed or unfinished hem at the bottom. So I may just go back and add the band just to see how I like it, It's all about playing around. And remember, if you joined me last week, I was talking about getting your hands on some decent quality fabric for really cheap. There's some shops in the cities like New York, Chicago, LA, Philly, places like that where you can find decent. I mean, even if it's a polyester jersey, feel it. See if it's lightweight enough for you, something that you can try. Some of the fabrics I showed last week, some really they're great for making muslins of stretch stuff, of t-shirts. I pay like 88 cents a yard, which is insane. This is like downtown LA in the garment district. But you can find stuff for super cheap, $3, $4, $5 a yard. And that's what I meant to say. This was kind of like a 1 yard challenge. So Carla Lisa suggested this pattern, and this is what I made. And you can see, for my size, all I used was 1 yard, and I still had leftover. And that means I had enough fabric to cut out the front, the back, the neck binding, and the chunky little hem band that goes across the bottom. And I still had, let me see how much I had left. And this is what I had left. But that's only from 1 yard of fabric, because remember, a lot of these jersey knits come at 60 inches or 58 inches wide. So you could, and notice my shirt is not that short either, So I took up quite a bit of fabric, but with only 1 yard. Come on. A $3 t-shirt out of some good quality fabric, go for it. Totally worth it. And I can always save this because I like to make t-shirts that are like funky, like the Tilton sisters. Are y'all familiar with them? They do like the front one fabric, the back one fabric, the sleeve one fabric, a cuff of the other one, a different fabric. And I like that kind of crazy stuff. And so when I have a good quality fabric, this is a rayon jersey, so this is good stuff. I save these chunks because if I have like a crazy colored shirt, I can do one sleeve and something. And if I want to just do the neckband in a solid navy blue, there's plenty here to make neckbands, So don't throw away those scraps. But it's something, this is definitely one that I would recommend. If you're trying to get into garment sewing, just give it a go, Especially if you have someone in person that maybe can walk you through if you don't understand the steps. But 1 yard, seriously, I was like, I couldn't believe that I got my size, like, it's not like a size small, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, then the pattern also comes with these cute little, let me show you in the illustrations. If you notice on the little diagram for the 2 different styles, do you see these little pockets? They're called micro pockets, and it comes with the template pieces to add them. I haven't tried it yet. Obviously, this one doesn't have it, and I don't know how that would look on a large bust. I feel like a little pocket here might not be hot for me. But I may try it out on another shirt. So, it does come with the template. This one says Micro Pocket Template 50s. is it 50 style? And then some micro pocket 30 style, like a little teensy pocket that you can add to your t-shirts. So it does come for a free PDF to have 2 different neckband options in the scoop neck and the V-neck, and then also these little kind of accent things. You know what I did think of? I was like, oh, I wonder how this would look in a t-shirt, say if I made it for my daughter or something and embroidered something on the little pocket, something cute like that. That looks a little bit more kiddie friendly. But it has all the template pieces that you need for both the scoop, this is it, the scoop neck, and or the round neckband they call it here, neck binding, and then the V-neck binding. Okay, so I think it's cool. I mean, it was super cute. Personally, I need this lower. Like this is, it's okay and it looks fine, but you know, once you try it out, and that's what I wanted to do was make it exactly how the pattern, not exactly, it's not him, but how the pattern called for it so you can see the style of it on a real body. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, I didn't lengthen or shorten the sleeves, I didn't lower the neckline, I didn't touch it. This is exactly just from the pattern pieces from choosing my measurements. You can see the neckband up at the top and the back. There's no darts, it's just one front piece that's cut on the fold. Okay, and the back. Not bad for a 30-minute top, huh? I told my husband, I was like, I gotta make more of these for sure. So if once you have a pattern that's tried and true, and that's the key thing, is to spend the time, grab some cheap fabric that, you know, it just is the type of fabric that you'd like to make it out of eventually. Say, okay, this might be the pattern for me, and I know, you know, I want to try these rayon jerseys, but buy some cheap stuff first so that you can perfect the size, because the pattern even tells you once you stitch up the side seams, it says try it on and see if you want it to be more snug. If you do, flip it back out, put it on, pin it where you want to take it in, and then stitch it again. So once you perfect it and you have it right how you want it, go to town. Buy your fancier fabrics, your good quality, your breathable natural fibers, and I mean a t-shirt. How many t-shirts do we have? Straight up, I can make like 25 of these in every color and be like wearing them every day, because that's all I wear is t-shirt and jeans. Awesome. All right, so let me get some feedback on you guys. And I'm going to do, I kind of like this idea of like this 1 yard challenge. I don't know that it's always going to be 1 yard because this was a straight up miracle. But I did want to show you all that you can get like a real body size shirt from just 1 yard. That's crazy. Look how cute, y'all. So this is the band. Let me grab it. So you can see, I mean, I still got plenty out. So I've already prepped it. It's folded in half. You just open the end, sew it together, and sew it to this. Oh, and this is another thing I wanted to say, because I know a lot of you see knits and you're thinking, well, I don't have a serger. I did not use a serger for this, okay? You can even see it. This was just top stitch, and I didn't even use a twin needle, because I wanted to make sure that it was something that anybody can make. If you have a sewing machine, all you need is like a jersey or ballpoint needle, some polyester thread, which is what I use for garments, because my clothes get a lot of wear and tear, and for me it's stronger than cotton. And I didn't even use a serger. So, no excuses, people. No excuses. If you want to try a t-shirt, download the pattern. I've included the link there for you, okay? Deborah says thank you, Vanessa. She just downloaded the pattern. Awesome, Deborah. Just take a deep breath, because 18 sheets to stick together. I mean, and really, that took me longer than making the shirt. But that's another thing, you know, if you find a pattern that you like, now I know that this pattern, exactly to how I cut it, I can just assembly line style, layer a bunch of different fabrics and throw it in there. Matter of fact, some of those fabrics that I showed last week that I had pre-washed, and I was glad I did, and they're like pilly because they're like polyester jerseys, I might as well just whip it up in this, because those can be just farm clothes, you know, just t-shirts that I can throw on, because I'm not going to turn them into like legit clothes to wear out, because like this one, you probably can't see it on camera. Okay, but you see this? It's a cool, funky little print. I mean, it's a good, and I like the pattern of it, the print, right? The print design. It's fun. I mean, it's slinky. It's lightweight. It's not like a super thick knit. But it just, after I pre-washed it, it just is like a little bit pilly. You know? Like I just see like white little poly fibers at the top of it. And it just looks too fuzzy. Like it looks old. You know what I mean? So, again, this is, I think this is a yard. Where are my salvages? Let's see. Might not be a yard. I could probably make a shorter shirt out of this though. Let me see. Haha, it is a yard. I can tell you what this is going to get turned into tonight. Seriously. So, I mean, I already know. This is a little chunk of fabric. Boom, another t-shirt. Easy peasy, okay? All right. So Cindy's like, oh my God, no serger. That's awesome. Yeah, so you don't need a serger, okay? Let's see. Hold on. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's awesome. So if you're looking for a t-shirt pattern, a free PDF, I mean, the fact that you have to spend the time to put the pieces together, there's enough instruction in there to guide you through it, and you're going to be out a little bit of money on whatever cheap fabric you decide to try it out with. I think it's worth it because in the end, again, like me, like I already know this t-shirt is cute. I like it. It fits me loose enough around my chunky bits here, and it's perfect to wear with jeans. I already know. Boom, it's done. It was worth the time, worth the shirt, and even just to share the review with you guys. And I know I'm going to make more of it, okay? Hey, Claudia. Hey, Patty. Awesome. Glad you're enjoying it. All right, so since I kind of like this challenge where I basically held up a yard last live stream and said, you know, any pattern suggestions, if you guys have favorites, if you think that I should make this out of, I would say this was not an epic fail. This was success. Thank you, Carla, for suggesting the T by Cake PDF patterns. For those of you just joining us, we are doing a little review on Cake PDF patterns. It's number 2224 called The T for this comfy, super easy t-shirt to make. And I've included a link right here where it says like free t-shirt pattern review with Crafty Gemini, like the name of this live stream. Right underneath you'll see where it says, where I have the link for you to download the free PDF. Okay? Awesome. So I see some of you have downloaded it. So yeah, I think it was a success, and I thought, what if I did this not every time, sometimes, because, you know, my schedule can get a little bit crazy. So I have another challenge, and this time it's going to be a yard too, because sometimes you have a yard and you're like, what am I going to do with a yard? Make something for my daughter, and then I'm like, I want to make something for myself. So here it is. This is the next one. Whatever I turn this into, I'll have to share it with you all whenever it gets done, and see if it's as successful as the T or an epic fail. Okay, so here it is. I think I showed this last time, but I just had it there, and it's just a yard, so don't get crazy telling me a maxi dress or something super long. That's not gonna fit me. So it needs to be something that I can make out of a yard, and I think this would be fun too, because if you buy off bits or remnants, or you're at a fabric store and you get a ridiculous price and you're thinking 1 yard, I can't do anything with it. Well, now you see. You can make a t-shirt. You'll see me making stuff on here, and then you'll know that even with a random cut, you can make it. And obviously, if you're smaller than I am, you won't even need a yarn, all right? So here is the fabric. It's a cute floral. It's a cotton jersey that's 95% cotton, 5% spandex or whatever. Okay? So give me some ideas. If you have a pattern that you think, or you have an idea of something that would look amazing, send me the link. Ooh, Shanika says a skirt. Oh, girl. Oh, man. Let me see. Let's see. It's doubled up. I mean, I could. Ooh. It's going to be tight. I'm going to need some Spanx, but I mean, it's a super cute print for sure for Florida. But, so send me a pattern. I see you guys putting in some ideas, but if you have a specific pattern that you would suggest, let me know that too. That way I can go check them out, whether it's a PDF or even one that I have to buy. If you have like a go-to pattern, I'm down with buying it to try it out and let you all know, you know. Ooh, Ashley says a nightgown or PJs. Girl, I live in like night shirts, like t-shirt style night shirts. I'm going to be on here my next live stream like in a little nightie and stuff. Like, hi, look what I made. That'll be hysterical. Okay. Oh, man, pajama pants, a sundress, an apron to gather eggs in. I don't know how that will work, Ruby, on this because it stretches. So, like, the weight of the eggs might, like, we'll see. I have to sit down and go through all these options that y'all are giving me. Spaghetti strap top and short PJs. And it's getting crazy. But that would be nice for Florida. But spaghetti strap, Girl, I need some support. I can't be rocking spaghetti straps up here. But I love nightshirts. Oh my gosh. At my last retreat, we made these funky nightshirts, and I live in mine. It's like, it's just a t-shirt and long. And like, for those of you that want to try a nightshirt, use this pattern. Use like a larger measurement than your hip, or like a little bit looser, and then just keep it going down. And then it's like, ta-da, you have a nightshirt without even having to hem the bottom. So this would be perfect for a nightshirt because it's nice and open here at the armhole too, and there's no set-in sleeve. So imagine 30 minutes and you have a nightshirt. And that's another great way, because sometimes you'll find these fabrics that will go on sale with funky prints. You might not wear it out like a t-shirt dress, but you can definitely sleep in it and lounge at your house, you know? All right. Let's see. All right. Give me 1 second. Okay. Oh my gosh, Kathleen, you're too funny. Okay. Gym shorts. Ooh, remember we talked about this pattern? The city gym shorts last time? Let me grab it. I've actually cut it out again to make a pair for my daughter and I, because the city gym shorts, I was wearing them in the last live stream. So if you missed the last week's live stream, just scroll down on my Crafty Gemini Facebook page, and you'll see it. Click on it, watch it. The link is there to download the thing. So I wanted to cut them out of one of my black and white prints from my new fabric collection called Kinfolk, right? So the one that I stamped myself, and this is just the waistband one for my daughters. So I'm making them out of this print, okay, which I hand carved the stamp and then stamped it to create the design, and then it's part of my new collection. And then I'm going to do the bias binding trim with one of the prints from my last fabric collection. So my Dominicana fabric collection featured this red print. So I thought I would make my daughter and I matching city gym shorts from Pearl Soho. The link is there. This is the shorts pattern is another free PDF pattern that you can download, and you can see that they make it, you can download it the kids size and then also the adults. So I already cut out the pieces today, so this is another one that I want to get to, but you can see how cute these will look for a little kid. I cut it out. I haven't made them for my daughter yet, but I cut it out based on her hip size. She's a little bit slim, like she has no hips. She has my husband's body. Clearly not mine. But I figured if they're a little loose on her, she can grow with them. But I'm going to try them. Again, you have to try it first to then see it in real life to know what adjustments have to be made. Okay? And then for me, of course, as I'm cutting the pieces, and this is part of the whole process of garment sewing, I'm looking at the pieces and I'm like, oh, that's not for me. That's not for me. No way, that's too big. That's not for me. No way, that size is way too big. It's like this mental game that we play with ourselves. But it's like, no, that's your size. Legit. So I added, on this one, I made it to the biggest size because on the last pair that I was wearing in that video, when I overlapped the front and the back, I stitched them more away from each other than what the pattern called for, just to make sure I had space in the hips, since in the thighs, since my thighs are quite chunky. So this time I went up to the bigger size. I think it was the biggest one where it says the hips measure 44 to 40. Yeah, it says hip size measures 44 to 46. So I did that one, and I'm going to try it out in that one with some of this fabric. I didn't even use a yard, and this is not 60 inches wide like the jersey was. This is just quilting cottons, and I didn't even use that much for the biggest size that they put out there. So I added 1 inch to the rise here. I just slit the pattern and added 1 inch to the rise, and then I added 2 inches to the length. And the pattern comes with a cut line to shorten or lengthen, and so I did that. So I have my pieces already here cut out. They're together, you know, mirror image, because that's how you need to cut them out. And then I'm going to make my bias binding with my red fabric. And who knows, maybe I'll find some time and I will be able to show y'all next time. Like I was last time, hiking up my legs up into the camera to try and show you. But I think if I walk further enough back, you'll be able to see the shorts. Several others of you out there have tried that same city gym shorts pattern and mentioned the same thing, that you added 1 inch to the rise and 2 inches to the length. Those of you that didn't add length to the rise, I have a high waist and I'm short-waisted. So there's no way, the rise will stop down here on me. I need it to come further up. So I added that extra inch in the rise here, and that's like the crotch height, right? Like where the waistband is going to stop on me. I need it to come up. So I added an inch there, and then the shorts are like shorts, okay? They're like the little shorts I used to wear when I was a cheerleader under my skirt shorts. So I added 2 inches to the length. So like if you're grown, add 2 inches to the length. Otherwise, like when your hand is down, they fit you like up here. But they're cute for kids or like 20-year-olds, you know? All right, let's see. So yeah, so that's the next one that I'm working on. Awesome, awesome. Who else is on here? Go ahead and let me know. Remember, the challenge for next time is this stretch knit that's cotton, 95% cotton, 5% spandex, what I should make with this to see if I can make something decent. It's just 1 yard, okay? Ooh, Shanika says she already had this shirt pattern. She had to try it out. And sometimes that's all you need, right? Is to see it on a real person who made it to just give you that extra little push. So yeah, I'm glad that y'all are out there getting the pattern. It's free. It's a free PDF. I don't know the people. I don't know them. I just know that I held up the fabric last week. Carla suggested it. I downloaded, tried it out, and I thought for sure I have to share this with y'all to kind of get you started. Because I'm going to be doing, remember, video series coming up on garment sewing. And I'm going to be telling you, you know my style, like just I keep it real and I just tell you how it is. Like I did for this one. I mean, if you're a complete beginner and you don't know the terminology, you're going to be struggling. You're going to be lost, straight up. But we'll walk you through it. You know, I'll do some video series. I'm going to pick and choose some different patterns that I can do step-by-step instructional videos walking you through. I'm trying to figure out a way to like rig up the webcam thing for the live stream, so maybe we can do some live streams like this if you guys enjoy this, that are actually instructional in style aside from me just holding up the stuff. If I can get a decent enough camera angle where I'm not like turning everything backwards because I think that's super annoying to try and watch, then we can do that too, okay? Ooh, Debbie says, is that enough fabric for capris? Maybe. I don't know if these hips will fit, but if I stretch them up real good, they might. But that's a good suggestion too, because that is, I mean, that's a cute kind of springy, summery Florida fabric for capris. All right. So yeah, give it a try. Give the pattern a try. Let me know what you think, and I shall return next week. I think I'm going to get a YouTube video up this week. So if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure that you check that out. All you need to do is go to youtube.com, and that's, you got to spell out the word you. So YOUTUBE, youtube.com, and then just do a search for Crafty Gemini. And then when you see my channel, click on it and subscribe. It's free to subscribe to the channel, and that way, there's also like a little bell next to the thing after you subscribe. Click on that. Some of you write me all the time and tell me, hey, I'm subscribed to your channel, but I never get notifications when new videos go up. And that's because you don't have the little bell thing enabled that sends you a notification every time a video goes up. So if you're a subscriber, you might be even a long-time subscriber to my channel, go into my channel again, the Crafty Gemini channel on YouTube, and click the little bell notification. When you do that, you'll see the option to enable notifications for every new video, okay? So make sure that you do that. Ooh, Tanya just posted something. She says, I think this would look super cute on, or so cute on you with a tank top underneath. Ooh, for the 1 yard challenge. Ah, it is super cute. It's called the Breezy Tea Kimono. I'm going to have to check that out, girl. Thank you so much for posting it. Hey, Stacy. Miss you too, girl. Hope you're doing good. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to check that one out. Oh, Tanya, challenge accepted. Oh, man. Hey, Millie. All right, so I'm going to check those out. Let me see what else. The 1 yard challenge. And so, since I'm going to be working on these new instructional video tutorials coming up on YouTube, using a serger, not using a serger, and kind of getting y'all started from the beginning to try your hand at some garment sewing projects, I was curious to find out, like, what exactly do you think is your biggest challenge that you need to overcome, or maybe what you haven't been able to overcome, and that's why you've never tried garment sewing. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think is your biggest challenge or the biggest thing that you need to overcome in order to just tackle some garment sewing projects and make yourself some nice fitting, pretty clothes, right? So leave me a comment because I definitely want to read through those, and hopefully through reading your responses, that will better enable me to come up with the content, right, for the instructional video tutorials that will be coming up soon. Okay. All right, so that's what I want to hear from y'all. Suggestions for the 1 yard challenge. I don't know why I'm naming this, because I'm going to be in serious trouble if I always try to pull up 1 yard, because there's not much I can do with 1 yard. It's going to be like, here's a different t-shirt, here's a different t-shirt, here's another t-shirt. But go ahead and leave me a comment. Tell me what's the biggest, it could be your biggest fear, or the biggest thing that you need to overcome to be able to make some successful garments, or even to tackle garment sewing. I know a lot of you out there that make quilts, right, because you don't have to fit them to a body. Some of you like to make gift-giving projects like I do, because you don't have to fit them to a body. You can just whip up a little zip pouch and give it to somebody, or like home decor items or kitchen gifts and stuff like that. But I want to know, like, what is holding y'all back from trying garment sewing? And that's what I want to hear from you, so that I can better help you tackle that, because I'm all about a good challenge, okay? So leave me those comments in the message box below. If you're not familiar with my YouTube channel, definitely check it out, youtube.com, and do a search for the Crafty Gemini. Subscribe to my channel. Again, make sure you click the little bell icon there so that it will enable the feature that notifies you every time I post a new video tutorial. And remember that all that is free. There's hundreds of tutorials there for you to watch already. And the 1 yard challenge. If you're just joining us, I'm looking for suggestions on what you think I should turn this 1 yard of jersey fabric into. This is 95% cotton, 5% spandex. Like nice t-shirt, kind of summery, breathable, but still stretchy bounce back fabric. It's only a yard, so I can't make much. But I'm looking for suggestions so that I can read through the choices and take on a new challenge. And then in a future live stream, I will be hopefully wearing whatever I make and review whatever pattern or project I created with it, just to kind of show y'all what I can turn 1 yard of fabric into. And going forward, I think I need to like pull out 2 or 3 yards so I can have more options, okay? All right, well, thank you all so much. Leave me those suggestions in the comment box. Thanks everybody for joining me. This was almost 40 minutes. I think that's a good enough length for these live streams. And remember, you can always share these with your friends on your Facebook pages. And if you caught us maybe halfway through or just joining us now, you can always play this whole thing, because you can watch the whole thing. It's recorded and posted right to my Crafty Gemini Facebook page. So thanks again. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Carla, you just joining us, girl? I'm ending the whole thing. I just gave you a shout out. Look at the shirt that I made from your suggestion last week. Now she's going to make me stay on extra time. Carla, I made the tee. I made it from your suggestion. Shout out to Carla, who just joined us. She's the one that I took on the challenge last week of the t-shirt pattern that she suggested, okay? But anyways, if you're just joining us, just go ahead and press play after this thing is done, and you can watch the whole recording from the beginning. Thanks again, everybody, for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.